Who's got a mobile phone in their pocket? Who's been sitting here really, for another 80, 90 minutes? Let's pull them all out. Everybody, pull out your phones. Yeah, I've got to get you to do some work. You've got to earn this. Pull out the phone. Take a photo of the slides up there. Take a photo. Look, that was easy, right? You can all do that. I can see you all doing that. So, just imagine you're now a farmer. How can you make use of this technology that you have in your pocket? The image processing, the computer vision we can do with this is what we're aiming to do to make farmers smarter and provide more information on time. In particular, we're providing an app and a service for growers in viticulture to provide more information about their crops on the vine. You can't put a QR code on every single grape bunch, but we can photograph them and learn more about them. Let's take Justin, my friend Justin here, as an example. He loves getting out there on the farm, having a look at what's happening. He also loves using Instagram. So he'll put posts up of what's happening, the latest wine that's coming out from Seesaw Wines. But he really doesn't know what's going on in the blocks. He doesn't know where things are going wrong without walking around having a look everywhere. He doesn't know why things change from year to year. What does this cause problems, or how does this cause problems? What are the pain points for him? First of all, he needs to think about disease risk in his blocks. And with disease risk in his blocks, this costs him money. Because if there's more than a 5% of damaged or diseased fruit in one of his blocks, the winery will not accept it. That's a problem. There's also the issue of how much water does he need to apply? And water costs money, time, and effort, as you're all very well aware as farmers. Then there's the question of how much fruit does he actually have? How does he actually plan the logistics at the end of the season to know and arrange contracts with the wineries to say, I'm going to give you 50 tons of produce this year, and I'm going to give you 25 tons in this other block? We're out here to help just not the farmers, but also the wineries. How can we provide the wineries, the logistics and equipment suppliers with the information they need to manage their logistics more effectively? A classic example is tank space allocation in wineries. You have a set number of tanks. You have a few hundred blocks coming in. You don't know how much fruit is coming in, and of different varieties. You've got limits on how much you can put into each tank. If suddenly you've got 20% extra fruit and you only know a month out, how do you reallocate that tank space? That's been estimated to cost more than $100 million annually due to inaccurate estimation of the amount of fruit. So how are we going to help this? Well, we're providing the app, as I said, and a service so that to save farmers time in going out there, manually counting berries. I don't know if any of you are growers here for vineyards. If you've tried to pull the berries off the bunches, when we got to 149,000, we gave up. It took a long time. So how do we make that faster? This app that we're providing will allow you to take a single photo of a bunch, as you'll see on this next video. So the app, as you take a photo of it, it will then allow you to process, by image processing on the phone, what that bunch is made up of. It'll give you key data about the number of berries. You can track their diameter. You can potentially look at the disease risk, bunch sparsity, you name it, any other parameters that you want to know about your bunch. What it also allows you to do is to locate that bunch in the vineyard. So we're tracking things spatially as well as temporally to provide an overview of different areas within the block and say, this is what's actually happened, not what I think is happening. Once you know what's actually happening early in the season, you can use that information to take management decisions, such as bunch thinning to adjust the volume of fruit that's on the crop, or to do more spraying or other techniques. How big is this market? Across Australia, there are tens of thousands of vineyard blocks. There are several thousand wineries, and there are plenty of service providers that go with them. Around the world, scale it up. Did you know that each year the world produces 28 billion litres of wine? I'm sure you've contributed to that in some way, or drunk some of it, I'm sure. So what are we offering here? We're suggesting that by using this app and in combination with a service model, we can achieve revenue by the end of a year of assuming a 25% market share in Australia and rolling it out to a 10% market share internationally of several $million across Australia and tens of millions of dollars around the world. What are we asking for in return, and how do we actually get there? We're planning to roll this out throughout the first 6 months, or through the remainder of this year and the first 6 months of next year, for an order of $500,000 so that we can provide the app to farmers so that they can use it and get their on-device information straight away in their fingertips. We'd then like to continue that rollout, so we're looking for $2 million by the end of next year in order to provide the services, the back-end mapping, monitoring over time so that farmers can log in and see that information very quickly and easily. And then continuing and accelerating that rollout throughout the following years so that we become a global presence. That's it from me today, and I look forward to have some questions and seeing you around in the market garden very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. So Sam has a question for you.
Thanks, Mark. That was really good, mate. We've just got to be, I suppose, mindful of the time, and we spent a bit of time talking about the capacity of tanks, and I wanted you to get to your ask. I wanted to know what you guys are after, what your go-to-market strategy is, how you're going to get your product in the hands of customers. I just noticed on the very, very end slide about team, and I noticed you guys are out of a uni, which is fantastic.
Yep.
From an investor point of view, I'm going to want to make sure or know where you guys are at in relation to the commercial minds and the commercial marketing capacity in your team. Have you got anyone in your team that's got that level of, I suppose, experience? Or are you looking for an investor that can provide that sort of advice?
As you said at the end of the question, we're looking for investment to provide us with the advice. Previous people that have worked within what we've got in our research group have gone on and successfully built startups themselves, so we have people we can call on there. In terms of the industry in Australia rolling it out, we've presented this work at the Australian Wine Industry Technical Conference in July this year, the biggest gathering of growers across Australia and one of the largest around the world. So they're very much aware of what's there, and we've got interest coming in from people saying, what can we use it? When is it? Let's take it away.